February 18th. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Romans chapter 12, verse 12. Faithfulness is a key element in prayer. It is the same word in Greek that is also translated continually, steadfastly, devoted to, or persisting in. Today, let's look at the 3 times this word appears in the book of Acts, which is the story of the early church. In Acts chapter 1, verse 14, we see the 120 disciples waiting in Jerusalem in obedience to Jesus' instructions before he ascended into heaven. They all joined together constantly, that is, were faithful in prayer, along with the women and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and with his brothers. The life of the church, even before it was inaugurated at Pentecost, was saturated with prayer, and the glorious reward was the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. In Acts chapter 2, verse 42, we read the very first description of the early church. They devoted themselves, that is, were faithful to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Prayer didn't stop being a priority once the blessing of the Holy Spirit had been received and regular church life established. Instead, it became an integral part of the life of the early church, and the new converts were devoted to a lifestyle of prayer. The result was a church that experienced the blessing of fellowship and favor. Finally, in Acts chapter 6, verse 4, the apostles were confronted with an internal dispute in the church that threatened to distract them from their apostolic ministry. Instead of getting caught up in administrative matters, they appointed other men to leadership, saying, "We will turn this responsibility over to them and will give our attention, that is, be faithful, to prayer and the ministry of the word." The apostles had learned the importance of prayer from Jesus, and they guarded their prayer life zealously. And so the gospel continued to spread, and the number of disciples increased rapidly. Jesus' blueprint for his church hasn't changed. He is still looking for leaders, as well as every believer, to give prayer priority. He is looking for faithfulness in prayer, and the rewards of our faithfulness will be amazing. Today's prayer: Lord, make me faithful in prayer.